Welcome back to Imatra in Finland. Adam McLean took the spoils in the earlier Open Supersport race. However, there are championship points at stake this time around. McLean in pole position. Alongside him is Letty Ranter on bike 77 and number 69, Nyman, the Czech Republic rider. This is how they line up. Marek Červený leads row 2. He's the man currently leading the Supersport Championship standings. However, McLean won the last 2 races, having missed the first round. One non-starter, Mikko Uski, by the looks of things. So we're about to go racing once again in Imatra. Gary Johnson is there this time, having missed the earlier race. So away they go. As they power down, it looks like McLean, but Letty Ranter up the inside. I think McLean's going to have it. Gary Johnson providing the pictures. And also, it looks like he was about to lose his position as they all swamped around him. But it looks like he's held on to it. They're on board with the Dutchman, Ilya Kalju. Coming down into techno-safe Ukenharta. Looking at 93, Tanskanen, the Finnish rider. Down along the back straight. Nico Letty Ranter providing the pictures now this time as he goes past Adam McLean. How close do you want your racing? My goodness me. Both on the right-hand side of the road. It's going to be about the brakes for the turn. And Letty Ranter just about holds off Adam McLean. My goodness me. They were closer than a sidecar crew there. Down into this next chicane, added onto the track to slow them down. They do need slowing down, my goodness, the pace they're going at. McLean right on Letty Ranter's back wheel. And of course, Letty Ranter, good to see him back on the bike following his earlier spill in the Open Supersport race. And he will be doubly focused to make sure he makes no mistakes this time around. I mentioned before about Adam McLean, he missed the opening round. He won the last 2 races at Schleiz, and he's 3rd in the overall championship standings coming into this race. However, Marek Červený with a very handsome lead at the top of the standings. Oh, and here comes McLean up the inside, or around I should say, around Letty Ranter he goes, but it's all about breaking a battle as well for 3rd place. As that's Gary Johnson going through to 3rd, it is. McLean hangs on. Gary Johnson takes 3rd place from Červený. And Gary Johnson really riding on a budget this weekend as Letty Ranter looks at McLean, but nothing doing. Oh, really wide. McLean takes it right out and has to tuck it back in again. So McLean, he knows he's in a fight once again. Oh, it's a mistake by McLean. Goes up onto the curb, maybe just clicked the wrong gear perhaps. And that's allowed Johnson to gain some ground, but more importantly, Letty Ranter to pull away. So Letty Ranter from McLean, Gary Johnson in 3rd, Červený, the Czech Republic rider, on the Triumph in 4th. And Gary Johnson looks like he's got the bit between his teeth now as well. This is more like the Gary Johnson of old, and of course, Gary having missed so much through injury now. Let's look at this again. This is coming into that right-hand turn onto the back straight. And off. Adam McLean just uses the slip road. As I've mentioned before, that's where the old circuit used to go out into the forests. Well, Gary Johnson has not been able to quite match the pace of those out in front. Letty Ranter from McLean. McLean having recovered from that earlier mishap, that mistake. It's a really tricky right-hand turn going onto the back straight. It really tightens. You see so many riders drifting out onto the left. But maybe it's one of those corners that you just have to think about a little bit more than you would elsewhere. And perhaps that's why Adam McLean just maybe, I am guessing that he just got the wrong gear. In the wrong gear for the turn. looking back from Ilya Kalyu. Second in the overall championship standings, but coming into this race, a massive 37 points behind Marek Červený. Červený now down in 5th place, of course, having been passed by Tanskanen. Here is Gary Johnson on the Suzuki. Back in Imatra. He missed last year, of course. He had that big crash that kept him out of all last season, and it kept him out of this year's Isle of Man TT. He was due to be back in the Isle of Man this year, Gary Johnson, but it just came a little bit too soon for him. And a retirement for number 27. McLean refusing to let go of Letty Ranta. Letty Ranta, you could call a wild card entry for this, having not competed in the opening 2 rounds of the IRRC Championship. Here's Ilya Kalyu looking back at the Frenchman Romain Claes-Tavien. Another rider on a triumph, the Frenchman. Adam McLean just refusing. Everywhere Letty Ranta's going, Adam McLean is sure to follow. We're back with Gary Johnson, and he's still got Tanskanen for company. An incredible performance by Johnson, considering it's a totally stock GSXR 750, has next generation electronics on it. He bought it for £4,000, just over £4,000, but he's running things like a standard road radiator, etc., as Tanskanen goes through. And also Johnson, it has to be said, he has a Pirelli front and a Dunlop rear. He's having to be economical with his tyres. And Gary Johnson competing in the IRRC Championship, as is the man we're looking at, Adam McLean. And of course, having won the 2 races, the 2 Supersport races in the last round, in round 2 of the championship in races 3 and 4, this is going to be another bite into Červeny's lead. However, he'll get 20 points for 2nd place. Letty Ranta will get 25, but McLean will want to get those extra 5 points. Gary Johnson still looking to get back on the podium. He had a podium position on his Imatra debut 2 years ago. Very similar conditions to this. But just over 3 miles to go for Letty Ranta and McLean. Can Adam McLean snatch it from the Finn? I have to say, super impressed with Adam McLean. Looks to be back at his best. He's had those injury-ravaged seasons. But now Adam McLean again showing that promise that he displayed 3-4 years ago. Oh, he's in a very good position behind Letty Ranta as they go across the line for a bit of slipstreaming and coming down to perhaps take the lead. Is he going to do it? He can, but can he turn in time? Letty Ranta may have to go wide. Letty Ranta has to hold off, and McLean takes it. So McLean from Letty Ranta, but it's far from over. Here goes, no ways, Letty Ranta going to make a move there. However, oh, it's so tight. It's really tricky, this part. Here's the moment again, just on the juice, out of the slipstream. And it's the brakes that does it for McLean. He's just a little bit braver on the brakes than Letty Ranta is. Just holds off just that little bit longer. But McLean still with Letty Ranta for company, but there are still plenty of overtaking opportunities to come, and Letty Ranta fancies the next one that's coming up. The left-hand turn as they come into Kona Pico. And he goes through it, but can he stop in time? There is a run on, should he not make it, but he has made it. But McLean now has the overtaken opportunities. So, McLean just needs to get a bit... Oh, there's traffic ahead. Traffic ahead, will that play a part? They're meeting him Perhaps if they can get past him into Ovarco. Oh no, it's going to hold up McLean. McLean loses out. So that's advantage Lettiranta. And unfortunately, Adam McLean will do really well. He just needs to be really a little bit closer. Last time around, he was closer to Lettiranta than he is this time. And we saw the drive that he had. He's got to gain it through this section. When they come out of Imatra, he has to be on Lettiranta's back wheel, and it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. It looks like it will be Nico Lettiranta who wins this one. So Nico Lettiranta will take the checkered flag and all 25 championship points. McLean now in a great second place. What a battle that was. Tanskanen should take third ahead of Gary Johnson. So Lettiranta makes up for his earlier disappointment. Great display. Gary Johnson does indeed take fourth position, just losing out to Nico Tanskanen. Adam McLean second and Nico Lettiranta in first.